Every time.
Every time. Hello, everyone. My name is Sean Glaze. I use, there we go, they, them pronouns. I'm with King County Equity Now's research team, and I'm here with...
Latanya Severe, she, her pronouns, also with the King County Equity Now research team. And we have a special guest. I'm going to let you introduce yourself. Go for it.
Yes.
I am Ahkia. I go by Kia pronouns and she and her pronouns and majestic pronouns. And I am from SCC, which is Sacred Community Connections.
Awesome. We are so excited to have you.
I know.
This is so cool. We're just going to dive right into it. Can you tell me what kind of work you've been involved in? Like, what kinds of stuff have you been up to?
I've been doing some of everything, but the main thing that we do is we provide outreach, basic needs, a little bit of case management to folks who are living without homes, folks who inject drugs specifically, and folks who are a part of the street economy.
Mm-hmm. Well said.
Yeah.
Why do you, like, I think before I ask the next question, I just want to say one of the big topics right now is like how to replace like 911 response from like an armed response to something else. And so like hearing you say that, I'm just like thinking about, man, what would that look like, you know, to have something like that instead of just like some random person trying to escalate a violent situation who has a gun. I just want to put it out there. Like, it just seems like, wow, that sounds...
So it's funny you mentioned that because we actually, when we're able to get there fast enough, we do mediation work. So there's some folks that are needing to be removed from housing, but they are folks who have experienced chronic homelessness. So we're providing some mediating around like, all right, you know, this person needs to leave, but we should not be causing more harm. So how do we both make sure our needs are met without the police being called?
Sure.
Because that's, you know, I don't personally feel safe calling the cops for folks like me. And especially if you need mental help, I'm just like, you know, not only who do we call, but like, will you come make it worse? Or are you going to actually help me? So a part of what we've been doing has been like community responses and holding peace circles for folks. If there's problems in encampments, like sitting down with folks and finding resolution to it. So I'm big into community healing and like doing it with ourselves and not with folks who don't really have a idea about what we live and what we go through.
Absolutely. I feel like this transitions to my next question pretty well, which is just like, why? Like, why do you do this? What's that about?
Being tired. I love being tired.
Ooh, I felt that.
Why do you sleep, right? What is sleep?
We do this work because who better than the folks who've lived the experiences to provide folks who are now living it? It's almost like an ancestor thing. Like, I have this belief that nobody can help me better than folks that have lived my experiences, look like me, love on folks that look like me. Like, there's a special connection that you really can't get once you get to the top of the pyramid. You can't really come back down sometimes. So we do this work because who better? I do this work because when I was in the need, nobody cared. Nobody gave the care and even hugs. People didn't give hugs. I'm like, how, like, pandemic has made things more difficult, of course, but I honestly was still your person to hug if I got on a PPE.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. With your mask. You got your mask on.
Shield, you know?
That's there you go.
But I do believe that there is a certain type of love that is needed and hasn't been given. Like the police, if the police had 1,000% more love, we wouldn't be killing back folks for sport. We wouldn't be dying at crazy numbers. We wouldn't have to say things like you can't sexually assault someone if you detain them.
Yes.
If you had more love, you know, for people you were coming to, you would care more. If you had more respect for the experience, you would give it. You show up differently when you are looking at yourself in the past, or you're looking at your loved ones, or you're looking at a general person who just needs assistance and care. I went to one place and this guy was just like, you got any water? You got any snacks? I was like, yeah, I got snacks and water. He's like, you know what? I haven't seen a friendly face in so long, and I know it's weird. I just met you, but I love you. And I was like, I love you too. I wouldn't be here if I didn't love you, if I didn't love everything about who you are. All the things that got you here, all the things that will get you out of the situation, all the things that make you mad about yourself, I still love. And he started crying. And I was just like, damn, how long had it been told he was genuinely loved by someone?
Yeah.
So that keeps me going back to the work, even when I get burnt out, even when, like, I mean, even driving down the highway, I'm like, there goes an encampment, gotta go there. Another encampment, they don't have a tent, gotta fix that problem, because you know, it really makes me feel like if folks that have been there before don't care, then who the hell will?
Yeah. Yes.
I love that you bring that humanity back to folks, because I think people, a lot of folks who are in those encampments or, you know, just trying to make it, they feel that a lot of people don't see their humanity, and like just to see a person come up and treat them like, you know, a human, to show them love as like another person in this space, you know, trying to just, you know, survive. And I love it. It's a really beautiful work that you are doing. Yeah. It's a great transition to our next question. When you think about what we should stop wasting money on, what have you heard?
I really want to stop wasting money on unhelpful police. On police, period. We had a situation not too long ago where a loved one, a sex worker, was literally being held hostage. We called the police so many times, y'all. We were at the point, my friends were like, we got some militia people out there with some AKs, and we will make sure that people are safe. Can we help you community-wise? Because we had called the police, and the police were just like, yeah, this is a very unsafe thing. We don't know what to do.
That's true, though. They don't know what to do when there's an unsafe situation.
And we were like, what do you mean? This is the number people tell you to call when you got an emergency. And this is not, there couldn't be more of an emergency than somebody being held at gunpoint. Verbally, physically abused, who knows what else. This person actively has these charges, but they're dangerous. How do we get in there? How do we get them out? They're like, well, we recognize it's a dangerous situation here, and we want to make sure we go in smart, because if we do this, he might kill her. If we do this, he might kill himself. So, and I was like, so
they don't tell other people that, you know. They be sending the cavalry for, you know, in other neighborhoods. It's just like, wow, you can't. Amazing.
I mean, it was like multiple phone calls. We had the chief on the thing. I mean, it was like they had to call SWAT eventually. But to be, I've never felt so helpless, and I've never ever in my life wanted to do something that would put myself in danger, because I just didn't know what else to do. You know, like I'm very good at crisis management. I'm very good at being like, oop, that's not safe. Let's figure out how to make this safer. But there was literally no option besides calling the police. And the police were just like, thank you for calling us. You know, happy to hear your voice. We can't help.
Wow.
And that felt like an extreme, because I know they make so much money. Lord, there's so much money being funneled into people that can literally tell you when you are hysterical about your loved one being harmed, actively harmed, and they know they're being actively harmed, and they literally use the language, we don't know what to tell you. They said she needs to ask for assistance before we can. I said, but if she's being held hostage, how can she, how would, it's
right.
like
Tell me how that works.
Right.
I was watching the contradiction unfold before me, and my community was just like, look, we got them things that go bang, let me know if you need some help. And I was just like, how do I make this safer for us all, you know?
What an impossible situation.
It was impossible. And I mean, we're talking about people who are like trained, you know, ex-military, people who can probably make things right. They're licensed, they have the gun safety knowledge, but someone is actively dangerous here. I'm not going to send you with all that beautiful training. I can't send you into the situation without a community plan. So we sat and made a plan for safety, and the police eventually got her out, but we had to just wait. We sat on our hands. We wasted the whole day, just stressed, worried, making plans for her daughter. And we could have been putting that into anything else. She actually couldn't even get housing after she was held hostage in her own apartment. She had a problem with getting rehoused.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like, okay, more money wasted on police when we need her to be in new housing. We need hotel vouchers for folks who are in immediate emergency situations. We need what y'all don't have.
Right.
To wait the whole day. And then instead of her being able to go to a hotel room, we had to bring her to our house. We had to, you know, get her daughter and get her to a safe location. And that should have been done with the police. That's what they're supposed to be here for. And we never actually even got a crisis person on the phone. We just had actual sergeants.
Wow.
Nobody dealing with mental health, nobody to comfort her or give her any kind of mental services after the fact. She's just out here traumatized and scared.
Yeah.
And I think about all the ways, or all the police we've seen just sitting around and just doing random things, or even like all the money that gets filtered into these local governments. Like people make a lot of money to do more harm. It's honestly more harm. I think we're wasting, something's being sprayed behind me, I don't know. We're wasting money on anything that's not community-based, harm reduction-based, and led by the folks that have the most compassion and humanitarianism towards the situation that's in hand. Because I just don't, I got a chance to hear some of because she was able to record the officer. And even his attitude, it was just like, he was being mean.
Wow.
He was being mean to her as she was being beaten and held hostage. I cannot think of more of a waste of money.
No, absolutely.
So.
Well, like, first of all, I'm really glad your friend's still alive.
Me too.
Like, there's so many ways that could have gone badly. So many ways.
Seriously.
Seriously. And it did still go badly, but it's just, I'm really glad she's alive. I'm glad the daughter's alive. Like, I just, I mean, I think a lot of us have heard different versions of that story, and they've, you know, ended differently. I think
blessed. We're very blessed.
Yes, and like no one should ever have to have that experience.
Exactly.
Like that should just never happen. None of that was okay.
No, very distrustful. It definitely didn't build trust for future emergencies to be handled. Like, God forbid I was ever being, you know, hurt or harmed and had to be rescued. I would know not to call the police because I don't want to go through hours of re-triggering myself and convincing you that I'm worth saving. That's what it comes down to. I don't want to convince you I'm worth saving.
Yeah.
One of the things that we're tasked with, like right now, is like just the current, just setting for the audience who is watching this in future. Like maybe it's like way in the future, but right now, like we are in Seattle. We've just got our local government to finally start the process of like stopping funneling millions upon millions and then billions, if you think about it, even like 1 year to the next, into our police, and to start the process of like reinvesting that money from police into community. And this year, part of what that looks like is we had a little bit less than 1% divestment from our annual budget.
We fought so hard,
fucking hard
for that.
So
tiny little percent.
Tiny. We couldn't have been more proud of you all for doing all the work you did to get that 1%. Seriously.
And community though showed up.
It's true. Yeah,
it's true.
Putting the pressure on. Yeah.
Like it was endless.
Holding the line, really.
Holding the line.
That's what did it. I think community holding the line and like pushing electeds to do what they said they were gonna do, and do what the community wanted them to do. That really pushed us to that success.
Yes.
So beautiful.
And what we were able to win was $3 million for this community research process. We're calling it the Black Brilliance Research Project. It is all about looking at what creates true community safety, true community health, and the conditions to thrive. Like that's the big question. And We're hiring over 100 community researchers to explore that in the ways they know best. So we're putting together resources so that teams, little community orgs, some of them are like 501, some of them aren't, like just really trying to like broaden that decision-making table of folks who, like you said, like those of us who've like lived it know it. We can taste it, we can see it, like we see the multiple ways the system's constructed. Like we get how this eligibility requirement means that you are forced to stay in a shitty situation because if you take this high paid job, you don't have Section 8 anymore. If you take this opportunity here, like, and that, like, that's presented itself, then you aren't going to be able to feed your family. You're just like, there's so many ways people are locked into abusive relationships, you know, like precarious poverty, jobs that are abusive. And it's like, in order to justify these like failed policies, people are put in these impossible situations to reinforce the existence of these failed policies. So what we see here, what we're working on is really dismantling that and growing something new. So one of the things that I'd love to get your take on if you have time, and I know, Tanya, you actually need to sign off very soon because you have a meeting that started a few minutes ago.
I did. I told them I'd be a little late, you know, but we'll finish up here. Yeah. And then I'll hop over there.
Okay, cool. But yeah, we'd love to know, like, what's some of what you've been hearing for where people want to see money reinvested. So if we take money out of all of those, like, those people and systems that allow people to fail to see humanity, to be able to say, oh, that sounds unsafe, we don't know what to do, to like make situations worse, to kill people, to not offer holistic services. So it's like, okay, cool. Well, like, this person's gone. You're like, cool. I have a whole life that has just been disrupted. And they're like, yep, problem solved. Like, if you take all the money out of that and could put it somewhere else, where have you heard is a better place to invest it?
So housing is big. Housing is housing's very hard. There's a lot of boundaries and barriers and hoops to jump through and tummies to rub in order to get even close to looking like you're going to get housing. There needs to be more funds to assist folks who have like back pays and stuff like that, like especially folks who are involved in government programs. Sometimes people stay stuck because they owe, you know, money over here, money over there. Just generally changing how folks are able to access and maybe putting more money into figuring out that system, but around like Section 8 and stuff like that, even the income requirements, I will put a lot of money into reforming Section 8, honestly, because I feel like there needs to be, it's like Section 8 is one of those long games that you kind of get stuck in playing and living. Like once you're in it, you kind of got to do what you need to keep it, and then people can kind of dangle it over your head, make you jump, go through hoops to kind of keep it. We need more case management. We need more folks that actively have love to help folks manage their lives and come to daily routines in a better way. We need more mental health services. When I first went from being homeless to having a job, I lost every mental health advocate that I had. And it left me, I still haven't actually gotten back into mental health services. It's been almost a year.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's very, very difficult. It's not user-friendly. We need people who are focused on these things to help folks who can't navigate the systems. I have been an authorized representative for several people, loved ones and not, on their EBT stuff, on their mental stuff, just because like having that extra person that actually cares about you, that can help you make those phone calls or keep you up on important dates. Is and case managers tend to have scopes that like reach certain things, but like an actual holistic person, like an assistant, if you will. Like
support, you know?
A life support person. I think folks who are more vulnerable, whatever that means, honestly, anybody that needs the help deserves the help. But
absolutely.
Folks who are disabled and folks who, you know, maybe have like aged or just stuck in a situation that they want to get out of, but they haven't been able to. Even with my divorce, I would have loved to have somebody, you know, that I could have called on besides like the family law people, but like a community person that can help me and really explain when I'm in trouble and when I'm not, because I get noticed in the court and I'm like, I'm in trouble. Generally, we need more folks who have bested the system, learn the system to teach us how to learn it as well and how to make it work for us. Folks that can understand the bureaucracy of things when people get kind of lost, because even being sent certain things from you, Sean, I'd be like, that looked like a nice pretty group of words. Can't comprehend that though. You know, it's convoluted, if you will. So more folks to kind of like translate things from bureaucracy into, you know, into more accessible language for folks like me. Just general care put into assistance. That's what I think we need to be funding, besides like basic things like getting people food, which is so dumb to have to say, but like food, housing, medical stuff, mental stuff, that besides those things, there's a severe need for some hand holding. We need some hand holding. We haven't been able to hold each other in community like that in a very, very long time. And I would love for some care coordinators and care advocates and folks that just generally have so much love they want to get paid to love on folks. We need more of that. We need more folks that want to just generally love on folks and meet them where they are and help them in their expert capacities.
For sure. Yeah. And a lot of what I've heard from you is dismantling these systems that make all those things that you were just saying so hard to do. It's like, it just makes no sense. It's like, why are we making life so much harder than we need to? Like, it's like we literally are like trying to make it, it's like an obstacle course. Why can't we just, like, it's hard enough, you know, if we, you know? So yeah, no, I really appreciate those things that you're talking about. It's just so important.
Absolutely.
It is extremely important. And even like death doulas and people who handle like grief. Like my brother died today. I have no idea how to process that. I would love for a grief care person to be readily available on a hotline or something.
I know some people I can connect you with.
There you go. Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
I mean, we did not have to be
Why
here
the
today.
fuck did you agree to this interview?
Yeah, so I know we're trying to like create this new work environment, and most people are so conditioned to like this white supremacy means of doing things. Like, I gotta show up and I gotta pretend like shit is good.
Everything's fine.
You know, and it's not. Things are fucked up, right?
Yes.
You know, and like, it's okay. We want you to know, like, honestly, like, we are like, just be real, and we can reschedule. We can, you know.
Here's the thing. Being Black, you don't take time off of being Black.
It's true. It's true.
That's true.
I am constantly in a process of grief. My people, somebody else's people, the cops that killed somebody, somebody's mom is missing. I am constantly processing grief that's not my own.
Yes.
And my brother, I didn't know that man. So we good. But I still feel the need to be accountable to my heart.
I understand.
But no, we're fine.
For sure.
I'm constantly processing grief constantly. But
for sure.
But no, I'm definitely good on self-care, and talks like this actually bring joy into my life. Like, we're talking about actually being solution-based. We're talking about making real life changes. I'm gonna take all my notes and I'm gonna call Mia, and she's gonna be so freaking excited to talk about all these things. And that energy really fuels me. It really keeps me able to stay grounded and stay connected to life, even when life is being like, guess what? We got some little something thrown towards you. I'm like, throw it if you need to. I got enough weed, so let's do it. I guess.
Absolutely. I love it.
I love that so much.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. But showing up for me it's hard work. If my heart is too sad, I also feel really good about the fact that I can name that. And that's what I'm cultivating. I want to cultivate a space that I can always name where I'm at. And right now, y'all, I'm feeling complicated, but I could not be happier to be talking with y'all and discussing these points and bringing these things into language that like maybe I didn't have before. This is why I do what I do and what keeps me going. So
Yes.
I'm here for it.
For sure.
I'm totally here for it. But yeah, we have to figure out how to also, give ourselves that space, because people keep going when they should probably take a break. So I am gonna I did some shopping.
Oh, nice.
And my partner and we're gonna go play with the harvest moon later on tonight. So I'm definitely keeping myself balanced.
Good.
But yeah, there's definitely some need for like even care around like folks who do this work, making sure they're taking care of themselves, checking in with themselves and stuff. So thank you for offering those resources, Sean, because I wouldn't have had them. So
yes, always on offer. Like, and what a treat it is to just share space with you. Like, I know we're not in the same space, but oh my God, this is what keeps me going. I'm just
me
like,
too.
yes.
I know, so exciting. Yeah, it's so great. Really appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So yeah, we should be investing in more moments like these. For folks.
Yes. And if you're someone who wants to join the research team and you're watching this, it's like, that is part of the plan. Like that is baked into, look at me, my landline's ringing.
I know. Every time I'll be clowning you for your landline.
I know, that foster parent life.
Yeah.
Wait, Tanya, will you bring us, I'm going to go get that and turn it off. Will you bring us to some CTAs?
For sure. All right. So as y'all know, we always end with our calls to action. I'll say mine, and then Kia, I'll let you do yours, and we'll close out the podcast. So a couple things per usual. Keep telling the mayor to free those funds. There is money that council allocated when they overrode her veto, and she needs to do what she needs to do on her end to make sure those funds hit the community as soon as possible. We'll drop a link to the email that you can send out to her in the description. Also, we have a solidarity budget statement that we put out with some other groups like the Jumpstart folks and the New Green Deal folks. Yeah, Green New Deal. I knew I was gonna like mess up the
labor
order.
Unions.
That's right. Yeah, it's really great. Take a look. Sign it if your org's in support. Sign it, share it, get that thing moving around the community so that people can see a different way than the way that the mayor's trying to do the budget. Yeah. And then I think that's all I got. Those two.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
I think so. The free the funds, to clarify, is like, it's not just the funds for the research or for a community scale up or for gun violence. She's also sitting on Jumpstart money, like COVID relief. Like, it's just, she wants to use that money for her own purposes, even though people have spoken very loudly and clearly and say these are investments that need to be made immediately in 2020. She's trying to hold them off till 2021 when she'll have more control. So y'all need to be making some noise. I know, the whole thing is just, every time I tell people, like, so this is what the mayor's trying to do, they're like, what?
I know.
It's like, yeah, now she's trying to do this. They're like, what?
Let her know.
That's I definitely look forward to continuing to learn more about, because it's not actually public knowledge. You know what I mean? That like we have a mayor that is like actively holding up like COVID funds.
Yeah.
Come on.
Right.
Everything else.
I know.
Of course. But when it comes down to COVID, I'm just like, we
that's like no. I feel like we all agree with that.
Like, just like a no-brainer.
No-brainer.
And
come on.
Are actively suffering. I understand people can. I will never understand people actively sitting on their hands while other folks suffer. That I will never normalize that.
No.
Yes. And then, so not only is she doing that, I don't want to spend too much time on it, but it's like she's doing that and she's like, I know better than y'all, and that's why I'm sitting on it. Yeah. And I'm gonna like do it this other way. And you're just like, really though?
Yeah, right, exactly.
Ahkia, I will be making those faces all over the place towards her. I get a shirt with my face on it so I can go to meetings and wear that shirt with that face. Because I really can't. Well, yeah, I'll make sure that I put that on my page also. And our next steps, a little bit about what we're doing over here. We're gonna be launching, actually like making a introduction to the world, because we've kind of a little bit kind of small, kind of like hush to be hush, but we're gonna be making some social media pages, and we are going to have a block party launch situation Halloween party for Halloween.
Yes.
We're still working on that, so details to come. And once we have all of our social media stuff put together, we'll share those links, and they'll be put in the description, because we are so happy to be a part of this, and we want to make sure that we are actively supporting not only King County Equity Now, but like the people who kind of are coming outside of this need to be informed of what is going on and how to change it. So we are looking so forward to sharing that mayor stuff and sharing the proposed budget and sharing the links to sign on and really be a part of making that change, because no one knows more about Blackness than someone who is actively living it. There's no way that the mayor could possibly have any idea about what to do about making Black folks' life safer and more cared for. Giving her proximity to whiteness is that she is white. So
white, wealthy, politically connected.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So many things.
Amazing. It is amazing.
So,
Thank you.
I look forward to supporting that, because we need to be talking more about that for sure.
Well, we'll keep that conversation going, and we'd love to have you back at like some future podcast, of course.
Sure.
I think we'll sign off here. Thanks again. I just can't overstate. It is such a treat to have you, and we will see you later.
Yes, I love y'all. I'll see y'all later. You have a good meeting.
Thank you. I will. Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.